Are we streaming? Okay. We're streaming then. Okay, so welcome everybody. It seems that you found us. We're not at 1 o'clock. That was the beta technology at work. We're the actual print technology, the one we all rely on, was working just fine. And our session has always been from 1:45 to 3:30. So we're going till 3:30 today. We are the best of EVO. If you want to shoot that QR code, you can get the program here. It's also linked from the CalIS 19 calis19.pbworks.com website. So basically, let's see. I'm Vance Stevens. I'm one of the coordinators. Christine Bauer-Ramazani is another coordinator. She's going to open us up and start us off. And we are streaming this, and some of our presenters are here. The presenters who are here are Jane Xian over there, and myself, Vance, and Christine, who is right here. And other presenters are being brought in by Zoom. And Zoom is very tricky when we have blended presentations. But once we get into the Zoom, it works a lot better. Okay, so anyway, right now, like I said, if you want to shoot that QR code, you can. I'm going to turn the program over to Christine, and she's going to begin with a slide presentation, just talking a little bit about EVO. A lot of what we're doing here is we're doing it for the stream. The stream is coming out in YouTube, so we have a YouTube recording at the end of this. The YouTube recording takes a mix of what we're doing. It takes some Zoom, it takes what's on the screen here, and sometimes it shoots the podium. And anyway, so Christine, are you ready to go? Okay.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Christine Bauer-Ramazani. I need the second page. Is this the last page? No. This, okay, now we need to go into, where's the slide? Okay, I think we're all set here. And we've got the next presenter lined up online. I'm Christine Bauer-Ramazani, and I'm the co-founder of the Electronic Village Online. And would like to welcome you, and welcome you also to participating in an EVO session. We just ended them a month ago. They run for 5 weeks every year from January, usually mid-January to mid-February. And they've been running since 2001. So we're going into our 20th anniversary year this year, and then have a celebration in 2021. So the founding of this project, it was a special project through the CalIS, part of TESOL, and 3 people were involved, myself, Tom Robb, and Susan Gare. And the mission of EVO, you can click on it there, so if you have the QR code, you can get all the slides. The mission of EVO that we started out with, and the reason why we developed this, is that we wanted to have teachers to have professional development, not just at TESOL, because a lot of people cannot afford to come to TESOL, to have it online during the year. And originally it was supposed to be a little bit before TESOL and working up to TESOL, but that has changed over the years. So we're all volunteers. It's a team of volunteers that puts this together. The EVO coordinators, right now, this year, we've had 14 of them. We always look for new people to join us on the team, but they should have participated in at least 2 sessions so that they know how EVO runs. So we developed an infrastructure that works throughout the year on a volunteer basis to put all of these sessions together. This year we had 16 sessions with over 3,000 participants in 36 countries or more. This is what was reported by the participants, so there could have been more than 36 easily. We usually start with a synchronous event, a kickoff event, and we close with another synchronous event, which is the closing ceremony. And in between, each of the sessions usually has its own synchronous event and lots of discussions about tasks in the individual sessions. So over the last 20 years, almost 20 years, we've had over 35,000 teachers in the world that have been trained in EVO. And as I said, you know, it's many different topics, and it can be from beginners to more advanced, whatever you like to see. And so we've got a call for proposals out for September 2019, which is when it's due. If you'd like to consider proposing a session, please see me or get in touch with EVO. My link, if you click on my name up there, that goes to my webpage, and my email is right there as well. So our next round of 5-week sessions begins on January 11th, 2020, and ends on February 16th. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to one of our coordinators, EVO coordinators, and it's Natasha, who is located in the Czech Republic, and she's going to be joining us through Zoom.
Just a correction, Christine, I'm in Serbia, but...
sorry,
okay.
I'm so sorry, Natasha.
It's okay, and this also tells me that you can all hear me. So it is my pleasure to introduce the team to you. I'm bad at multitasking, but can everybody see the slide with the coordination team? So you already know Christine. We have Nelly, who is the head lead. Then Carolina, who is leading us. Martha and Sanya are incoming. I apologize in advance if I pronounced names wrongly. So we try to share the leadership burden equally. We try to share all the tasks equally. It's really great teamwork.
Natasha?
Which is why sorry?
Natasha, do you have the slides on your computer?
Yep.
Can you share the screen while you speak?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will. That will help. Screen, yeah, screen, but then I need screen share. Okay, so now you can basically see. Can you see the slide?
Yes,
now?
we can see your slide. Excellent. Okay,
excellent.
Good.
Yeah, it is a bit daunting, you know. So once again, you already know Christine, and then these people at the top are our leaders. So Nelly is the head lead, Carolina is the lead, and Martha and Sanya are incoming. So they are preparing for leadership. So we follow the TESOL leadership model. We try to share the duties equally. And then we have Jose, I believe, Barek, of course, Vance, everybody knows Vance. There's John, Ayat, myself. Cheryl, Sybil, and Jane are new, and they're doing an incredible job. So we really are a team. What I like about working as a coordinator, among many other things, is that we really do share our workload equally. So what is the workload? You may be wondering, because maybe you want to join us. We would love that. So this is the timeline. We distribute the tasks amongst the members, but we also distribute the workload over the whole year so that it doesn't become too burdening. So in September, you should be sending us proposals if you are planning to present. Then in October, we vet your proposals, and then we have the moderator and session development, which I love very much, where we learn from each other. In December, we have a call for participation, and then January and February, the sessions themselves. And from March onwards, we prepare for the next year. We have leadership changes. So the incoming lead becomes the new lead and so on. And we also have recruitment in March and April. So if you're thinking about joining us, this would be the good time to start. Usually what happens is you start as a participant. I started in 2008, and then you move on to being a moderator, and then you love EVO so much that you decide to help. So please join us. In May, we start training you. So everything is scaffolded. June, July, we start preparing for our dissemination of calls for proposals, and we send them in July and August. That's when we spam you a little. So apologies in advance. So that would be all from me, I believe. Vance, are we ready to move on, or how should I proceed?
Okay, well thank you, Natasha. That's very well, very nice. Can you unshare your screen? That's the first step.
I will.
Okay.
Just give me a second. So okay. Stop share, and now I mute myself, okay. And then I stay as a participant. So bye.
Okay, thank you very much. That went very well. There's Jane from the back. Let's see. Do we have Heike in the chat? I believe I gave Heike permission to share her screen. The reason we're calling on Heike, actually, let me just show you where we are. Heike is one of our co-moderators for EVO Minecraft MOOC. So Heike, go ahead and see if you can do a screen share. First of all, Heike, are you there? Heike Philp. Maybe I'll let Jane chat her in as we get ourselves lined up here. There she is. I see Heike there. Let me just show, as long as I've got this minimized here on the front screen, let me show you where we are in the program. Okay, you're at the Best of EVO. If you want this program, which links to everything else, you want to shoot that QR code. So I don't see a lot of phones coming out. Okay, there's one. All right. We'll give you a chance to do that. I hate when people put up QR codes and then move the slides. That just really annoys me. Okay, so I'm just being a little bit patient for the people who are shooting the QR code so that they can have the document that explains everything that we're doing today.
Vance, can I also ask whether you could give the Heike Phil muted also right to screen share, because I'm on two computers and with a mobile phone. Sorry. Oh,
you'd probably be better off on computer, and I made you a host. Does that help?
Excellent.
Okay.
But both Heikes, yes.
And
fantastic.
if you want to go ahead and do a screen share, then you can do that, because we're looking at another window right now.
Okay, when would you like me to start?
Well, we might as well have you start while we have you here. So just hang on a minute, and you can hear what I'm doing here, and we'll call you in.
Excellent.
She has two accounts. We might have granted the wrong.
She should. This document has a table of contents, and I'm down at Friday now. This is what we're talking about now. I'm Vance. This is Jane. Heike is online. We are three moderators for EVO Minecraft MOOC. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger here. Okay, I'm making it a little bit bigger for the stream. So I'm going to cue some slides here while I've got this open. Jane is going to talk for a moment about EVO Minecraft MOOC. EVO Minecraft MOOC is one of the EVO sessions. It's a session where we get teachers together in Minecraft, and everybody who's willing to play together learns a lot about gamification, basically. We're trying to learn about gamification. We don't really care about Minecraft. That's not really true. We care a lot about Minecraft, but what we're really trying to learn, what we're telling our bosses, is that we're learning about gamification. Back to the Zoom window. Heike, are you still there? Did we give you?
I'm still there.
Okay, and if you
Ready
can't share
to
your
go?
if you can't share your screen, never mind. We're pressed for time. You can just tell us what you want to say.
Okay, I'm happy to share the screen.
If you can,
Excellent. I have
go
it
for
right.
it.
Yes, I can.
I'm at a different computer now than. Okay, yes, you're sharing. Excellent.
Very good.
Are you talking about Escape the Classroom, or are you joining our session?
Oh, the Minecraft one.
We
Sorry.
want you to talk
No,
about
I'm
Minecraft
talking
right now.
Apologies. Then I'll stop the screen share.
Oh, you know what? You
Sorry.
can go ahead and, while you're here, go ahead and take that slot. You can go ahead and talk about this session, Escape the Room. Heike is in the EVO Minecraft MOOC session. She's also moderator of the Escape the Room session. So go ahead, Heike, tell us about Escape the Room.
Okay, I have, well, I do have, hang on, let me start screen sharing again then. That is, so. Yeah, I've got a mobile in my hand and I've got the, so. Okay, let me briefly show you what Escape the Room. By the way, we have an Escape the Room in Minecraft. We've had this program by Carol Rainbow. I'll talk about this in a second. Just to let you know about this EVO session, Escape the Room, that I've been privileged to co-moderate with Graham Stanley and Radl Sutler. We've had 192 participants. We very much enjoyed ourselves in that challenge to get riddles and conundrums and ciphers and so forth, and to talk about, especially about the ELT challenge. With Escape the Room, you can enjoy real Escape the Room games all over the world in every major city these days. And this was the advice by Graham Stanley the first time around, that he said, just go and experience that for the first time, the second time, just to see what it feels like. And this is what a number of us did at the beginning of the session. And then we also learned about Escape the Room games that you can buy on Amazon. We basically looked around. We also looked at different escape room games online that we could play through. It was a beautiful learning experience. And then some self-made riddles and, as I said, puzzles, conundrums. The emphasis, though, was in the EVO session that we would say, okay, we'll create a little suitcase for the real classroom, but we also have a look at what online possibilities of creating online escape rooms are made of. With creating puzzles, there is a little bit of a challenge, and the major advice on the net on how to create puzzles was just be on the side of the students. Yeah, make them not too difficult. It's all about English language teaching and learning. It's not about solving or mathematical riddles, etc. It's really the communicative challenge. And this is what we learned through Graham Stanley then. We learned the ins and outs on how to create really challenging tasks, so that students have to think. They have to sometimes also put together puzzles, visual puzzles, interesting puzzles. Sorry if I'm going too fast a little bit. Hang on, have to see. My part in that team of 3 moderators was to create 360 photos and to add hotspots to these photos. A number of us have done that. Did the screen sharing stop by any chance, or are you seeing at the moment a picture of accents?
I'm still working. We're still listening to you. We're all enthralled.
Okay, are you seeing a broccoli and milk, or are you seeing the picture of Athens?
Matching games. Matching games, there's a, looks like there are 2 pictures on the screen. One is a portrait and the other is the same overlay, but it looks like a puzzle, looks like a jigsaw puzzle.
Okay, it seems to have got stuck there.
Ah, okay.
Retry, don't worry. because I wanted to show you some of the challenges. Is it coming in? Well, there's a bit of a low internet connectivity here. Sorry about that. Anyway, you find the presentation also with the link which has been added to the program. So look at it, you might enjoy it. Just to round it off without actually being able to present now the slides, there were interesting debates on how to create escape.
Heike, if you're not going to, if you stop sharing, stop your screen share, because it's just there you go, that's it. Yeah,
Good idea.
Yes, okay.
Excellent. Yeah. As I said, you can look at the presentation and the puzzle challenges also a little bit on the net. I've shared the link in the program. And just some interesting results or findings out of these 5 sessions was, first of all, we had 192 participants, which was awesome. These shared 114 assignments. It's all on Google Classroom, and that means 114 partly lesson plans, partly PowerPoints with complete games, challenge riddles, and so forth. A fantastic array, also a beautiful set of links. The resources that everyone shared was just about tremendous. And then there was the big question, how do you actually create an escape room experience for the students? How do you get started? And often it was simply to think about the communicative side of things first. For example, also reading exercises. If you say, for example, you do this like a crime scene, and you have to find who's the murderer, and in the end that produces a key to the lock, yeah, that gives you the final clue. Why not create profiles of possible suspects, which you can describe? So there was a challenge, the Mayan mask disappeared, it got stolen, and who could be the possible suspect? And so the students were encouraged to read profiles of various people and even think about it, could that possibly be the thief? Another important aspect with escape rooms, if they're linear means you have to solve one puzzle after the other in order to get to the end. And in this case, if you get stuck at one puzzle, you cannot proceed. That's very frustrating. So the big advice for us from Graham, from the team, was create walkthroughs. Sometimes to simply hand the walkthrough to the students, because it's not about, as I said, the solving of the puzzle, it's about communication. And with this, I'm concluding the session, invite you even now to the classroom to look at all of the resources. And thank you, Vance, for putting this out. The one thing I wanted to share definitely was Carol Rainbow's escape room in, and I'm just
in
perhaps
Minecraft.
Trying, yeah, in Minecraft. Just trying it one more time with the screen share, perhaps. Let me see whether it's working now. So that was so, oh yeah, you're seeing it now. Okay, this was Carol Rainbow's escape room that she built in a pyramid in Minecraft. When you go inside, first you put down your inventory outside so that when you die, you do not lose everything. Once you get inside, you get lots of clues with a description on signboards, you know, look for this, look for that. One room that you enter, it could have been that you get shot by arrows. If you enter a certain room where it says, do not enter here, and if you do enter, you get shot with arrows. Another room has a lot of buttons that sometimes teleport you to other corners of the pyramid. It's all inside a pyramid. And from ending up in lava, as well as you can die a few ways. This is why it's important to leave your inventory outside in a box, and then you can return once you get outside. Fantastic game. She produced a video, which is absolutely lovely, with a walkthrough. So be prepared that if you watch that video, you already get all of the results and the clues. You might decide not to do that, just to get there. but she's done an awesome job in doing that. And Randall, he created escape rooms in Second Life. I created them in 360 photos with hotspots. So there was a lot of beautiful challenges that we all could learn. Thank you, Vance. That was it from my side.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Heike. And you've just segged us back into EVO Minecraft MOOC. We're only going to take a few minutes. What we're going to do, yesterday Jane presented she started a slideshow. She didn't quite finish it. We're going to give her 5 minutes to finish that. And after that will be all the live presentations. And when we go into Zoom, it gets a lot more smoother. So the next speaker after Jane will be Harishita, and Sibel following that, and Carrie after that. And then I believe it will be Halima and Nelson. Okay, so if Harishita can stay online, let me drive, because I'm just going to put that over here. There's your presentation. Okay. Just present. Okay. All right, so Jane is just going to talk a little bit for a few minutes about EVO Minecraft MOOC. Okay. For those of you online, the 2 presentations at the end got canceled. So there will be plenty of time. We're a little bit off schedule, but not that off. And so we should be okay.
Good afternoon. I'm Jane Chen. I'm from the National Taipei University of Education from Taipei, Taiwan, and glad to be here today. Our session is the EVO Minecraft MOOC. This is the 5th year. And I'd like to start off asking you, do you know Minecraft? How many of your kids, play Minecraft? Yes. Yeah, Minecraft has sold more than 1 million copies in 2016, and for our community, we have 391 members in our community, and this is Google Plus is the platform you use for our community of practice. We are sad that Google Plus is closing down, and we're relocating currently. And this year we had 30 live events, and we played, our participants joined us in the Minecraft server, and we had discussions, and we built together and think about possibilities of incorporating Minecraft in the classroom and for language learning. Also, one of our co-moderators, Dakota, he believes that our brain is wired to learn through stories that are told, and so he created the whole, story scenario of the Hug the Creeper, and invited us to become one of the characters, and we all went in and, experienced the story in world, and it's unbelievable. You get to begin with the hero going on in a journey, and then in the end found out there was a big villain, and through this narrative we get to learn about Creeper. And if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of story told in Minecraft, and this has become very popular, and I believe that this is a new way of teaching kids how to develop digital storytelling using the Minecraft platform. It's very easy, and they'd be able to tell stories by creating the scene on their own, building the houses and the adventures that that they want to tell. So if you're interested in digital storytelling via Minecraft, please join us in our Minecraft MOOC next year. Okay, we're in a participatory culture, and we're basically learning on demand. And so Vance taught us how to make gameplay videos with OBS, and we have coding from Marseille, coding via Minecraft, and my son was very lucky to be able to learn coding from Marseille. He is based in Romania, and he's learning English as he participated in the Minecraft MOOC. Because of my background in pre-service teacher training in Taiwan. I'm looking to explore how Minecraft can be used for language learning purposes, and so I tried out a lesson plan of building the building challenge. Since this year is the year of the pig, so our theme is to build pigs, and we were divided into 3 groups, and we built 3 different pigs, and then we analyzed our video, and analyzing my son's and one of our co-moderators' sons' dialogue of building the pig, and it was amazing. Okay, so we used it as a research tool, but also for language. We're exploring the possibilities of this platform for language learning purposes. This is something that I've come up with, borrowing Do Coil. In Minecraft, there's a language of play, language for play, which is playing with each other participants, and language through play, which is participating with, interacting with the players, and they're picking up the language. One of our co-moderators based in Japan, a professor, Don Carroll, he was amazed, like he was being corrected by my son. He was saying that I needed that toolbox, and he was corrected by my son using the correct form of, in Minecraft, which is called a crafting table. It's not a craft box, it's a crafting table. So these are some other things. Because of interest of time, I'm going to go through it very fast. So Professor Don Carroll, he's looking at the gameplay, interaction, conversational analysis, and because we're able to record gameplay, we could go into looking at different players of their interaction and what they're currently doing. And Dakota, he's really big on Minecraft engineering, building buildings, and this is what he built in our team. And we have Kim Harrison, a co-moderator, and she showed us the East Coast Miners, which is a server especially for young kids. So my son was able to participate in their server, and they were having like guild builds every Friday. And I think this is a fantastic idea for kids all over the world to join on that server. And they are not just learning how to Minecraft, but they are interacting with like the global kids around the world and learning their cultures as well, different time zones, and it's just amazing. This year we have also developed scoreboards so that if we are going to host a scavenger hunt, there's scores on them, and it would have a sort of a competition around that, and this is something that we're learning together. The Discord server is what we're using for audio communication. And finally, we'd like to thank our co-moderator, also one of the founding members of this EVO Minecraft MOOC, Jeff Kuhn and Aaron Schwartz from the University of Ohio for hosting our server. Thank you.
Are you able to unmute yourself? That would be most convenient. Yes, okay, good. Hi, Harshita. You want to test and speak? Okay. Harshita, are you there? We don't hear you. Jane, do you want to look and see if Harshita is having any problem? Let's see. Okay, so, oh yes, okay. Harshita is there. Let me show you, well, I don't know if I need to show you where we are in the program. This is another, then you'd see how far behind schedule we are. Okay, so anyway, Harshita is going to talk about her session, Getting Online as a Teacherpreneur. Harshita, do we have you, are you able to talk to us?
Am I audible?
No. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Where did Joel go? Okay, so... Okay, here comes our technician. So, just... I think we're only about 5 or even less than 10 minutes behind. So I'm not sure, Harshita, why we're not able to hear you, but our technician has just come back and they're discussing the situation. We can see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, excellent. Okay, you're coming in now. Our technician is he's actually a magician in his other job, and he's doing quite well. Okay, so we see your screen, we hear your voice, and there's Harshita Kapoor, and she's going to tell us about herself and speak for 10 or 12 minutes about getting online as a teacherpreneur. Okay, take it away.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here amongst all of you. So this session about getting online as a teacherpreneur was a technical session meant to help teachers to get online and have their own online presence in the form of a website or a blog where they can teach independently. So this was the first time I was moderating a session on EVO. I have co-moderated a session in EVO 18 with Dr. Neddy on Moodle for Teachers. So this particular session was basically meant for teachers who are already teaching online and who want to teach online, and those who have a beginner to intermediate level experience in using technology in teaching and related work. So as we all know, it was a 5-week-long session, which is divided into 5 modules. And it basically had interconnected topics, but every module dealt with an insight into a totally different aspect of having your website, developing it, and maintaining a website. So why is it important to understand the technical aspect is because when you are planning to teach online, it is a totally different paradigm. It's a paradigm shift from a brick room teaching. And when you understand the working of the platform that you are using for teaching, it helps you get well with the basics and fundamentals of the platform that you're using, and understand the working of the various aspects and how they work in unison in the background. So in week 1, we talked about the working of the internet, how the data flows over the internet, what is an IP address, what is the client-server architecture of the internet, because we need to understand where the website is hosted, what is a server, and what is a client, that is, where are your learners placed, how are they accessing your website. And then we talked about TLD and subdomains. So TLD was the top level domain, subdomain, and subfolder. This was particularly important when you have to purchase a custom domain for your website. So you can get an understanding of how carefully you would choose a domain name. Then we talked about the protocols, that is HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, UDP, all these protocols that are relevant for maintaining your website, adding content to your website, how to maintain the security of the website with HTTPS, the encryption. Then was the difference between WordPress.com and self-hosted server website. So whether you need to host it on the WordPress server or on a self-hosted server, what are the pros and cons. So in the second week, we talked about the databases and got an overview of the WordPress dashboard. So the intention was to have a website on WordPress.com under the free plan so as to get started with your online presence. And then was about setting up the theme, choosing a theme for your website, understanding plugins, adding content in the form of pages, blogs, and media. So this week was full of enthusiasm from the participants because we were getting started with setting up the website. Those who already had their website or blog on WordPress were also enthusiastic because when you understand the basics, then it gives you another level of understanding for what is going on. And then in week 3, we looked into the coding languages of the internet. The various languages that are used. We particularly looked into HTML and CSS. And we were writing code for the first web page from scratch, which was without using an IDE. This was the best part of the course. And amazing work was done by the participants. It was commendable how teachers were passionate and enthusiastic about learning coding. And that really took, the initial part was when they were a little skeptical of achieving the task for the week. But as the week progressed and they achieved it, they got through, wrote an entire web page by themselves. It was a great sense of achievement for everybody. I enjoyed it thoroughly as much as the participants did. Then in week 4, we looked at the website security, GDPR compliance, that is General Data Protection Regulation compliance. What are cookies? How is the data stored on your website? So getting an understanding of how the data from your learners will be stored on your website and how careful you need to be with that data was also important. So we looked into all that, website security through two-step authentication, and various other malware that float on the internet. We got a check on all of that. Then we took an understanding of content delivery network, that is CDN, and how it helps in maintaining the website security, again through malware detection, XSS, cross-site scripting, attacks, and various other attacks. So this again was an interesting week where the participants wrote privacy policy for their website. Next, in week 5 was the cooling off period where we took the understanding of the cybersecurity basics and essentials, cyberbullying as a concern among young adults, the checklist for dealing with cyberbullying among young adults, because we all are teachers, we deal with young adults, we need to have a check on that. So as for the flow of the course goes, the initial part had the introduction where we introduced ourselves to each other and had an opening survey. This survey was particularly helpful for me to understand the learners and for the learners to understand what to expect from this session. During the survey, what we analyzed was that most of the teachers came with more than 10 years of experience in teaching, and they were intermediate level users of technology. They were interested in enhancing their technology skills to get along better with their learners. This was the best part of it because they were enthusiastic about learning. Then talking about the cybersecurity, cyberbullying, yes, it is a real threat, was accepted by most of us. And some the part which was interesting was that 81% of the people said they had never come across a victim of cyberbullying across their students. So we need to get a check on this. This was food for thought for us. And we effectively discussed it in the discussion forum, that is there a gap between the students and the teachers which we need to bridge, so that the student can confide into us, they can reach out to us whenever need be. Then we had lesson plan. Every module had a lesson plan written specially for beginner to intermediate level users. We had 2 live sessions in every module, which was helpful for explaining the concepts and the tasks to be achieved, and clearing out the doubts of the participants. We had resources, custom-made resources in the form of presentations uploaded on SlideShare, and the links were presented on every module for the respective presentations. Then we had discussion forums in every module. We discussed, we brainstormed different ideas and shared our input, whether it was about understanding the website security, discussing about coding, and about cybersecurity or cyberbullying. So this was really, really a very interesting and engaging part of the course. Then we had external links to additional resources for self-study, which was helpful because they were authentic resources. We know internet is flooded with information, and we wanted to make sure that the authentic resources are available to the participants to rely on. Then every module had a badge for successfully accomplishing the task per week. And at the end, we had a certificate of completion. The platform that was used for the course was Moodle for Teachers.org, which is a Moodle-based platform for hosting the courses. And we had a Facebook group where we additionally looked into the engagement with the participants. And then additional resources were provided through the page on Codeways Academy on Facebook. The final understanding of the course was that for having your online presence, you need to have a website or a blog of your own, and more than one platform is required. For engaging, and the coding basics was helpful. It was a slight learning curve, but achievable. Cybersecurity remains a concern. And so I will just quickly finish this off, that the course was helpful, as was responded by the participants. And suggestions included that they wanted more time for learning coding, which made me feel that, yes, they enjoyed learning coding, which was a great part. And they were happy with the course overall. So I want to thank Dr. Nelly Vance and the entire EVO team for all the support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harshita. Put your hands together for Harshita. Okay. Thank you very much. That looked like a very interesting session. I hope you give it again next year. I might, but it's so hard when you're giving sessions to be in others. Were you in any others yourself, Harshita? Were you in any other sessions yourself? Oh, I'm not hearing you.
Yes,
Yes?
I was co-moderating for Moodle for Teachers for Dr. Nelly. Yeah, so that's what I was doing alongside.
Boy, you must have been very busy. Well, that's just an example of the amount of work that people put into these sessions. Okay, so let's see, where are we in the program? We have 3 more presenters. I believe Sibel is next. So, Sibel, are you ready? Let me go to my other computer. I need to unmute, or no, you can unmute yourself, I think. Are you ready to present? Can you tell us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. And
Great.
if you do a screen share, we will probably see what you're presenting.
Okay.
Okay, QR codes in action. That was Sibel's Electronic Village Online session. Okay, take it away.
All right.
Try to keep mindful of the time. Let's say about 5 minutes till the hour. You could stop.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So I think I've shared my screen. I can see it on the YouTube screen as well. Yeah, I'm right. Am I right? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and a big hello from Istanbul, Turkey. I said good afternoon, but it is 9:40 here, 9:40 p.m. here. So good evening for me. All right, so as you can see from my first slide, we have been offering this session since 2017. So this year was our 3rd year. It's great. It's a great experience, and it's great to be a part of EVO team. So I would like to share our experience in a very short time. Okay, so as you see, we have got around 100 participants each year. And we started as 3 moderators in 2017, and we were 4th this year. How we managed 100 participants? Okay, it is not that many, but when you have other things to do, 100 participants is quite many. So we divide the work among us. So each day a moderator is responsible to track the participants' progress or whether they have any questions. It is that person's responsibility. So it makes our lives easier. And because participants get feedback every day, we receive positive feedback at the end of the session in the 5th week. So how did we start working on our session? It all started with a webinar, actually, which Dr. Nelly Doge organized. I presented a QR codes session there, and it turned out to be a 5-week EVO session. So we created our logo. We love sea, so we chose the color blue, and we inserted our QR code for the platform that Dr. Nelly has offered us. I would like to thank her once more here for giving us the platform. And we designed badges related to our sessions. I mean, for each week, but in total we offered 7 badges, and our badges look like our logo as well. And we gave certificates at the end of the 5th week. And what we learned from the EVO experience is how to mentor or coach online, which is a great experience because you're not face-to-face, you are not in the same country. It is a great experience, really. And we learned managing time because everybody is from different parts of the world. And like this session, it is evening time here, but you're in the afternoon. So managing skills should be very, very well while offering this session. And the best thing is having the EVO sessions as self-paced. So there's no rush for the participants. There's no rush for the moderators. So where did we offer? As I mentioned before, we used the Moodle platform, Moodle for Teachers, Dr. Nelly's platform. We used Zoom for our welcoming ceremony, and we used Padlet walls to share participants' work and their discussion tasks. As you see, we had a 5-week program, and what were the session objectives? Our main aim was collaborative work, and the activities we designed were hands-on. So our participants saw samples that we prepared, and they also created their own QR codes that they can use in their classes. So they were all practical QR code ideas, and we learned a lot of ideas from our participants as well. And the materials were like treasure and scavenger hunt games related to their QR codes. They updated their session materials, their lesson materials using QR codes. And reflections were the biggest part of our sessions, because you create a QR code, but how you can use it, or why you would prefer QR codes, that was the best part actually. That's where we learned from each other. So as I mentioned, we offered 7 badges for the tasks, and they completed the tasks like QR code creation for a list material, for a YouTube video, or a treasure hunt or timeline. And they needed to participate in the discussion topics, and they were supposed to respond to others in the discussion forums. They collected the 7 badges, they were able to get their certificate. And we asked them to complete the feedback survey at the end of the session, so that they can get the certificate. As you can see, here is a sample from this year's and these are the samples from participants. Apart from the Zoom online meeting, we had this intro Padlet where participants left notes, their photos, and we also responded to their intro Padlet posts. Sessions on Moodle, that was one platform where we discussed things. So it's about, for example, QR code timeline. The activity was timeline activity, and the participants were supposed to come up with some ideas and samples. So they shared their ideas and their sample lessons, and they responded to each other. So we achieved the collaborative work. So it was not only the Moodle platform where we carried on the discussions, but we had also Padlet walls. So as you see, the task was to respond to the question about the reason and how to use QR codes for treasure or information hunt. The main aim is to integrate QR codes into lessons, into teaching. And the last week, in the 5th week, they created their business cards. So kind of saying goodbye to each other by creating our own business cards, so that we can carry on contacting with each other. And the feedback, luckily, we always received positive feedback, and this encouraged us to carry on offering this session. So our participants are very active, and we were also responsive, so we kind of shared a lot. So we're looking forward to EVO 2020, and we'd like to, I hope we have got a lot of participants next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sibel. It's amazing these presentations are going so well. We're not too far off our schedule. Let's see, we're just a little over 10 minutes off the schedule, but we have, as I said, time in the end, so we should be okay. That was Sibel Taskin Simsek talking about QR codes in action. And the next one will be Carrie Terry talking about teaching pronunciation differently. And after that, job-oriented training for ESP teachers, Halima Ozimova and Nelson Bank. So, and then following that, I see Martha is online. So we might, yeah, hi Martha, we might try to get her to wrap up our program for us. So, Carrie, are you ready? Oh, I don't think I need, I don't think I need to do anything permission-wise.
Hi.
Carrie is there.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, perfect.
It is
okay,
perfect.
Let me just see.
Are you going to
just see if I can get my PowerPoint operational, because that would be some sort of a miracle if that could work too. See. Can you see that?
No, we can't. You haven't shared a screen yet, I don't think. Are you trying to share your screen?
Okay.
It's a little green briefcase at the bottom with an arrow coming out of it.
Hold on.
You scroll down to
just
find
bear
it.
with me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. I'll see if I can share the screen.
Mm-hmm. So mouse over, it brings up a window at the bottom. You got it.
Okay, that should be working now. Okay, now I just have to work out how to
just
go
present.
Full screen.
You can present it and...
yeah, okay. Okay.
Yes, there you are.
Okay,
yes.
We're ready to go.
Well done.
Okay, thank you, Vance.
Okay.
It's a technological miracle. Okay, well, thank you very much for having me. So I'm Carrie Terry. I co-moderated Teaching Pronunciation Differently for the second time this year. It's the 5th year of TPD. We modify it and hopefully improve it every time with new videos, new materials. So what is TPD and why does TPD exist? Well, TPD is as it says, it's a different approach to teaching pronunciation, and it really is a very radical departure from the traditional conventional approach, which I think we all know as listen and repeat, or modeling, where the teacher or a recording models the sound, the sentence, the phrase, and the students mimic it, basically. Where TPD departs from this is it doesn't use modeling, and it shows students how to make the correct physical movements to successfully pronounce English through a process of discovery and experimentation. So the teacher acts as a coach rather than a model. If you look at any textbook, listen and repeat really is still the go-to method of imparting pronunciation. And listen and repeat, or L and R as we call it, the paradigm totally depends on listening and repeating. There isn't anything else happening there. And mimicry might work if you've got a good ear, but generally only when the model is at hand. So the individual saying the word or phrase might provoke you to say something correctly, but then you might forget how to say it again without the model being there to copy. And the model, after all, is demonstrating a perfect and rather unattainable at that stage anyway interpretation of received pronunciation. Usually, it's a bit like if you were learning how to ice skate. You thought you could improve your ice skating by watching an Olympic standard ice skater. I'm an Olympic standard British English speaker. That isn't going to necessarily teach you anything. And just because you can hear the sound doesn't mean to say that you can make the sound. Eleanor listen and repeat relies on the fact that you are somehow automatically going to know how to position your articulators, your jaw, your tongue, your lips, etc., to create that sound. And you know, most times the L&R paradigm is filtered through the lens, if you like, of your first language, your mother tongue. And very often people produce the nearest sound to the one that they hear, the one that exists in their own lexicon. And this is why, as English teachers, we frequently encounter the fossilized issues that we do with, for example, to just randomly select one, say French people who tend to produce an unvoiced TH as an S. I think so instead of I think so. And of course the Z for the voiced TH in what is that? So, you know, they will have heard the correct pronunciation many, many times, but have failed to master it. So what is the result of using listen and repeat? Well, not very much really. And research shows that less than 10% of students achieve anything like an authentic accent using this approach. So TPD offers teachers another much more effective method, a dynamic process by which the student is an active participant and the teacher is there to encourage and guide. After all, pronunciation is a motor skill, it's a physical skill, and students have to discover what to do to speak correctly, working on the cause rather than trying to copy what other people sound like, which is trying to create the effect without knowing how to achieve it. So teaching pronunciation differently is a comprehensive guide to the articulatory approach. And if teachers complete the session, they are very, very well equipped to begin to integrate it into their classroom activities to the immediate benefit of their students, whatever the level of those students might be. So, as I said, this is our 5th year, and this year we had some 200 participants on the session from a huge variety of countries, which I've put up there on the slide, from Vietnam to Ukraine, from Ivory Coast to Japan. 43 people completed all the requirements for a certificate, which were to weekly forum discussions and obtain 100% on each of the end of week badge quizzes. They were allowed to have 2 attempts. Our 8 live meetings were held in 2 different time zones, so we could enable as many people to attend as possible, and they were extremely lively discussions and were cited by many in their feedback as being one of their favorite activities. Each live meeting was hosted by at least 2 moderators. There were 4 of us this year, and we used Zoom as the platform for the live meetings, which worked very, very well. How did people find out about TPD this year? Well, as you can see, the largest percentage came through word of mouth at 30%. Next was, you'll be glad to know, Vance was as a result of EVO publicity with 27%, and we got 24% of our participants through social media. We did email all previous participants, and there was, as always, a significant amount of repeat business. Every year we find that many participants like to come back because it's a very, very intense session, TPD. There's an awful lot of material, but we do keep the session open so people can just come back. Obviously, the forum discussions have finished, but the materials are all still there, and we find people come back over and over again to download slides, to look at videos, because, as I say, it's extremely rich in materials. So, so what does TPD actually involve? What do we do? Well, let's have a quick look at content. So this is a view of the first 3 weeks, which obviously in Schoology, which is the platform that we use, and you click on it and then you get all the materials. So week 1 is introductions and sensitization, an opportunity to get familiar with the physiology of the mouth through a series of physical exercises and activities, and learn how our articulators interact to make specific sounds. And in week 1, we also look at the importance of stress within words, lexical stress, and we look at syllabification, how to count syllables. 2 gets to grips with a key feature of English, of sentence stress and reduction, a system which contributes to particular syllables being made more or less prominent as we speak. And to achieve this, week 2 introduces participants to the concept of speech breathing, which enables them to create the right physical movements to produce authentic stress and reduction in their speech. Week 3 looks at the articulatory setting, or AS, of English, which differs considerably from most other languages, which all have their default settings, and lots of people don't realize that we have different defaults, talking about the position for the lips, throat, jaw, and in week 3, we learn what it is and how to teach it. So obviously, for us, it's the position that we adopt for schwa, the hesitation sound. That's pretty much the articulatory position of English. The articulatory setting of English, sorry. Week 4 focuses on how the discovery and experimentation approach to teaching pronunciation actually works in practice. If the teacher is to resist the temptation to model, then they need to be able to refer to sounds without articulating them. And in week 4, we look at using phonemic symbols and which charts serve us best. Finally, in week 5, we look at how to integrate pronunciation work into general English teaching, what we call exploration and consolidation. And in this section, we cover different techniques for correcting students and how pronunciation can be adjusted in the flow of classroom activity without interrupting it. Finally, a supplementary page offers useful resources, both printed and online, that we have found useful and which participants have added to using the comments section. So every year we do our own survey and we ask respondents a number of questions and include a request for feedback, which has been unanimously positive. And here are a few of the 73 comments we received this year. You'll see how the participants emphasize the practical application of the content, the radical departure that it represents, and the quality and range of the resources that we offer. And the opportunity, of course, that TPD gives for engaging in discourse with other teachers from all over the world, both in the forum discussion groups and the online live meetings. So finally, last but not least, what's been in it for me? Well, this is the second year that I've been a moderator on TPD. I think one of the main roles, and I'm sure that other people who've moderated would agree with this, that for us anyway in the UK, there's very, very little provision for continual professional development these days. We have to kind of do it ourselves without funding. And so TPD fulfills that gap, it fills that gap, and really offers teachers a wonderful opportunity to develop their skills and abilities for free in a very dynamic environment. And so it ticks that box for lots of people. You know, despite the fact that there's so little funding around, we want to upgrade and develop our knowledge. And in fact, some of us are required to do it as part of our job. It's a wonderful knowledge exchange. We learn, and my doctors, Young and Messam, and my other moderator, Aritzio Sweeting, Dr. Sweeting, we've all learnt an awful lot also from our participants. We share ideas, and there's peer-to-peer sharing as well. It's a wonderful opportunity. I personally have acquired or enhanced many of my skills over my time with TPD, learned about new technology, new hosting platforms, tried things out, trial webinar software, got to know Schoology really well, done a lot of presenting and hosting, which is hugely useful. We've done a lot of coordination, you know, using those platforms, because obviously we're all in different countries most of the time. Writing new materials every year, making videos. I've had to learn how to edit videos, write scripts for the videos, present data, manipulate data for some of the presentations, not least of which the one I'm presenting today. It's an extremely enriching experience, I think I can say, both as a participant and as a moderator, and I can authentically speak as both. So thank you very much, Vance. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, EVO. It's been a wonderful experience, and I look forward to moderating it again next year.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Carrie. We certainly appreciate hearing from you. You can hear the audience clapping loudly in the background. Okay, so we have one more EVO presentation now, and then I'd like to say something about Nelly Deutsch, who is unable to talk and can't be with us today. And after that, Martha is going to wrap up, and that should take us to the end of the hour. So Halima and Nelson, you can start anytime you like. Please finish by 20 minutes after the hour or earlier if you can do that. Okay, Nelson, we see you. Okay, Halima is unmuted.
Yes.
Hear something?
Nelson, it's here. Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, Halima.
The last one. Vance, would you help us to share our screen with our presentation? I have a presentation. Or Nelson, maybe you. Also, we are 3 moderators.
We don't have your presentation on this computer. You should have it. Can you share it on Zoom? And maybe Nelson could do that.
Okay.
Nelson could share the presentation, and Halima can talk.
Let's Nelson begin. Okay.
Okay. So I'm supposed to okay.
If you mouse down, you'll find a green share button. So when you click that, then we can see what's on your screen. You can select the whole desktop, or you can select one application to share.
Okay. That's the...
there you go. You got it.
Great.
Well done.
Okay. Well...
Also, I am Halima, and I dare this year to moderate this session. And thank you very much to Nelson. It's my dear colleague from the USA. He helped with us greatly. Okay, I'm from Tashkent, and Tashkent is the capital of Uzbekistan. We are close to great countries like China and India, and therefore it's very challenging for us to compete with them. So there are our moderators, Nelson and Galina. I was born near this mausoleum. It is a sacrificed place. Also, the week 5 weeks ago, there is petition yesterday, today, tomorrow. Online education is huge. Sharing best global and local teaching practices. Also, the number of foreign universities in Tashkent. There are almost 15 foreign universities. You see, language of instruction is English, of course not general English, but ESP. Webster University, the working places for students are already at TUI, because we focus it on TUI. And Galina is the leading teacher at TUI, and participants were from TUI. Our session were also on Zoom, and one participant of this session has written, you see, I never participated, it was so great, especially Zoom. I learned how to handle Zoom, and by the end of the session, I created with my student also Zoom session. She created extra, it's very good. Also, many people know Uzbekistan only due the great work of Christopher Marlowe, also about Tamerlane the Great and Samarkand, great cities, the Great Silk Road. But we are dedicated to STEM and SP issues. That is how we think ourselves acquiring STEM and SP in new knowledge in our cultural setting, because we have long holidays on Nauru. Okay, that is our logos. You see, this is traditional, also two literacies, also calculus and linguistic literacy. That is the um, so quickly. Also, you see, we have this balance between men and women in our higher education. Nelson, this guy is from Texas, this guy. He's working in Texas University, and that is a picture of bridge between Texas and Uzbekistan. Only men, you see, there are women make progress, women make a project, and never we are invited. It's all in balance, okay?
Okay.
Next, okay. Next. Okay, that is therefore I am learning. It is my thing in the fair. I am learning how to handle new product. Yeah, okay, I will try to speak very quickly. That is the next day, the next experience we will get in Kazan, work skill Kazan. It is very close to us. We know that ESP instruction would be widely used in Kazan, and me and Galima go to. Also, we publish here two conferences in Tashkent. We attend this. One is my alma mater, one is Westminster University, but great conferences, we are not invited, like quality assurance, okay? That is also, again, girl, again, only men, you see, only men decision maker, but it's European project. I am sitting with one student. It is one of best teachers. That is a very, what a pity that great conferences and money are going to pay the conference. You see, it is online conference, and number of deliverer teachers outnumbers the number of teachers. Also, I think that that's medical tourism logo. This is a logo for our Tashkent City tour, and I think that there must be digitalized on also use it like Instagram, like Facebook, and so on. And that is picture of the novel of Isaac Asimov. We have read with all our participants. Oh, it was a good picture of our Navruz holiday. Also, that is a great, this is a young generation. Our team of moderators were a really team of 5 generations, beginning from me, then baby boomers, and this Z generation. One was from Z generation, girl with her essay saying it was fun, be trained by people. This is okay, this is Navruz. You see, also announcing Navruz, girl, our traditional dish sumalak, our plot, and then begin festivities, 4-day holiday. Therefore, we would like to work next step in Askia style. Askia, it is a tradition, you can read here. It is so humoristic debating, because Uzbekistan is becoming a country with 3 linguistic formula. We speak 3 languages, mother tongue, Uzbek, Russian, then English. I dream that sometimes we organize this content in Askia form. It is 2 teams sitting, okay? It will be in Uzbek cultural study dedicated to our Navruz holiday. It will enrich ESP knowledge of our students and master their knowledge and remove institution, and students can also visit other cities and learn much. Okay, okay. That is only I would say that our people are, I think, so very ambitious. It was so difficult for me to create a team of moderators. It was 2 months or 2 weeks, and Nelson, he supported me very, and always I said that Richard Branson said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you are not sure you can do it now, say yes, then learn how to do it later. Then believe in me and be creative. Also, this is a picture of ladies from Nelly teams, and I would like to get them as my friends. And that is also welcome to Uzbekistan, the country of diversity, because we have many conferences here, and I'm waiting for my friends. Nelson, please speak.
Okay. I had the opportunity to co-moderate with Halima and a couple of other people from Uzbekistan, which afforded me a great opportunity to learn about a new country, Uzbekistan, the geography of the country, some of the food of the country, to see the people of the country, to understand the history of the country, and to experience something that not many people are going to experience in their lifetime, which is a country coming up into the world to compete with all other countries in the world. And they're doing it with the help of Halima and the universities in Tashkent and the goodwill of the politicians in Tashkent. I noticed that one of the universities that are just operating in Tashkent is Webster University, which is from my hometown in St. Louis. Webster University is a beautiful campus in St. Louis. There are trees, it's green. So I'm sure that Webster University will do a good job in Uzbekistan. My part of the session, of the EVO session, was to introduce a new methodology for teaching second languages, and in particular, English. It's the philosophy behind it is just breaking right now. It's the continuation from teacher-centered to student-centered, and it's called student-directed. In it, students choose the material that they want to learn. In a second language teaching classroom, students will choose a word in their native language that they want to know in English. Each student in the class will choose one or two words. Then the class lexicon will be compiled, and that is the material that the rest of the curriculum is based on for the next 6 weeks or for the next semester. The parts of this methodology that I'm espousing, which is student-directed, are vocabulary chosen by the students, pronunciation using a 36-character phonemic alphabet. It's a simplified phonemic alphabet. And this is the hardest part of the methodology. It's vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, and conversation. The pronunciation is the most difficult one, and it's the one that English teachers have to tackle as well as students. But it's simplified, so it's not the 40 or 44 or 48 phonemic characters that have traditionally been used in dictionaries. 36 symbols, and students in Uzbekistan and teachers in Uzbekistan can use this to not only develop a vocabulary that they need in their particular fields, but also to keep in mind the perfection of language use, which includes vocabularies based on vocabulary, syntax, putting the words in the proper slot in the sentence, and pronunciation, which is an asset to be able to present to someone who's a native speaker. That's my contribution to the session on ESP. I'd like to thank Vance very much for help with all the technology. I learned Zoom. I'm using Zoom in other places now. So that's about it.
Thank you, Nelson. Thank you.
Okay, Halima.
Thank you very much. Somehow I misplaced that list of...
Thank you, Halima, very much for allowing me to be part of your session. I learned a lot, and I hope I can do it next year.
Okay, well, thank you, Nelson. And we have two more things on the program. Thank you, Nelson and Halima, I should say. And I know you guys learned a lot. We really enjoyed watching you grow through Electronic Village Online, and we hope you will come back even more powerful next year. So, anyway, we have two more things on the program. First of all, Nellie has been ill and is not able, she has to guard her throat, and she wasn't able to come and join us, but I'd really like to acknowledge Nellie's phenomenal contribution to Electronic Village Online. Okay, everyone, stop. I need to say more. Okay, so, but she has, she was part of 4 sessions. She's famous for Moodle for Teachers. She's hosted a lot of Moodle courses for other sessions. One of those is QR codes. Another was teaching English to young learners, and Joy, right? Yes. Judy is here in the room with us. And let's see, another one was, I had them on the tip of my tongue. Actually, I had a list of them here. Moodle for Teachers, teaching English to young, QR codes, teaching English for young learners, and one more. Maybe it was Harshita's. I think it was Harshita's session. Harshita's. Yes, the one on the teacherpreneur, the one on being a teacherpreneur. She's been instrumental in all of those. I just want to make sure that she's a part of our program here, even though she couldn't be with us today. She certainly wanted to, and she's very disappointed that she wasn't able to, but I want to acknowledge Nellie's contributions here. So, waiting in the wings, we have Martha. How are you?
Hi, Vance. I'm doing great. I want to share my screen. I know I have just 3 minutes to wrap up, right?
Okay, I have to run to a computer where I can unshare mine. And you have actually about 8 minutes to wrap up.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Yes. Okay, so, and this is Martha Ramirez. She's one of our coordinators. And I forgot to mention, too, that I forgot to mention that Nellie has been a coordinator, head coordinator for 2 years, maybe even still. She's sharing it with...
Yes, she's she's
you guys can come up here. You can come in here and talk about Nellie. Anyway, I'm going to run... I'm going to run back to a computer, unshare the screen, and turn it over to Martha to just wrap up our session. And we really appreciate your being here. Okay.
Okay, so while Vance runs to the computer and unshares the session, well, we want to thank you for joining us in these on-site and online presentations. And on behalf of the coordinating team, I want to thank all the moderators who joined us to share their findings and their journeys and everything that went on in their sessions, even though time was short. But all this information has been very enriching for us in the coordinating team, and of course for everyone who is participating in this session. I'm going to thank you, Vance. I'm going to share my screen. 1 second, please. All right.
Yeah,
Should
sorry.
be.
I had trouble finding the unshare. You're having trouble finding the share. I don't know why this is so difficult in Zoom.
Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
okay.
We can see your screen. Join us.
So thank you. So I guess the first thing is we want to invite all of you to join us. The moderators who shared all these experiences this year, we would love to have you with us next year. So don't forget to send your proposal with anything new that you want to add every year. Even if we are sharing the same session, they're always enriched, right? And they're updated, and we add new things to them and new moderators. So we want to ask you to join us. We also want to invite new participants. So those of you who are watching or who are there seeing this presentation, you can join us as future teachers of these sessions. If you're interested, if you have something important, that you consider relevant to share, please send us a session. This is more about passion. This is more about wanting to share with the world new techniques, new strategies, new ways of teaching. So if you believe that what you're doing is relevant and is important and has worked in your class, for sure it is relevant to share with the rest of the world. So please join us. I just want to mention some key dates. We will be confirming these, but basically the call for proposals for EVO 2020 will be around July of this year. And in this call for proposals, you will see on a website all the key information that you need to keep in mind to send a syllabus, to have an abstract, who are the moderators, what are the session objectives, etc. Around July. In September, we give a professional acceptance of these proposals. So we tell you, okay, we've seen your proposals, we give you feedback. The coordinating team provides feedback on what could be improved or what should be taken into account. And in September, we will tell you, okay, please keep this in mind. Then between October and November, there are moderator development sessions. This is where we connect and we get to know each other through Zoom or through any other online tool. But this is where we see our faces, we introduce each other, we get to know what it is that we want to work on in our proposals. And then we send back the proposals to the coordinating team for a final acceptance, which is in around December. We tell you, okay, you have added everything and you have taken into account the feedback, or your proposal was wonderful. So please let us know if you're definitely into work with us. And so this is around December, and then in December we do the call for participation, but in your own settings and context, you also send the call for participation so that participants around the world can join you. And then finally, the EVO sessions are between January and February. They are, as you know, 5-week sessions, and so we want to invite you to please consider, to please join us. And you can follow us on Twitter through @electronicvo. And if you want to follow some of our tweets regarding the sessions, the hashtag is EVO Sessions. And just to wrap up, on behalf of the whole coordinating team this year, we want to thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your interest, and we hope that you stay in touch with us. Our contact information is in our PB Works website, but you can also, contact us through Twitter if you want to talk to any of us in the coordinating team. If you have an idea, we will be available to answer your questions. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can get back to, you can unshare, and that would give us back a big screen.
Yes.
It's at the top. What threw me off. Yeah, let's see. If I got a webcam here, I guess start my video. Here we are. Okay. There we are. There's my video. Okay. Well, that's it for almost this conference, I think. Here's our webcasting team here. This is Jennifer Meyer and the one and only Christine Bauer-Ramazani. And we have a room full of participants here. Where are they? There they are, right there. Yes, okay. Hannah, Judy and Jane. Okay, and we have the tech team texting in the back there. They're getting all the latest information for how to fix the next problem, or learning about problems they're ignoring. And it's me, Vance Stevens. This is the 15th of March, webcasting, streaming from Atlanta. And we've had a whole program in Call IS callis19.pbworks.com, so you can find our program there. So thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate it. Martha, thanks for coming on. Heike, thanks for joining us. She's still there. There's Ralph.
Bye.
In the back.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks, Nelson, for coming along. Anybody else want to say a quick bye? We just went past the half hour. Okay. Bye to everybody. Here comes the guys to wrap this up and take it away.